The kind of stuff you don't hear because it happens during the pre-show. Go ahead.
Have you not seen SpongeBob? It has life lessons for all of us. The higher your pinky, the fancier you are. So, when in doubt, remember the pinky.
Remember the pinky! Since I have like these humongous like monkey hands, does that mean my pinky's gonna be super high up, which means I'm much better than everyone else?
So, I'm sure the ladies will be happy.
I'm just picturing that scene in Tarzan where they make him wear a suit.
That's kind of what I look like in real life, isn't it? You stick me in a suit, I just Tarzan, Stacy, please, no. You know, I kind of go into a business attire. You know, I go in for an interview. They're like, "Oh my God, we got a caveman coming in." Job. Welcome to the oddest little podcast on the internet. We are the Odd Pod. I'm Stacy Kruger. Who are you guys?
I'm casually challenged, unfortunately.
Unfortunately? I think it's fantastic.
Brad Hazard with all the fortune.
With all the fortune. Could you rub some of that off on me, please?
I'll have to give you some lapis for that.
Thankfully, I'm just Robbie.
You're just Robbie. You are a wonderful little person who lives in the fucking awesome little stereotypical British town, which I got to see for the first time. And you say you're just Robbie? Seriously, guys.
Go ahead. What else do you want from me?
Well, seriously, though, guys, I got a chance because he's like, I'm not going to say where you live because fucking internet. But he told me what town he lives in. Guys, it is the most stereotypical looking little British town, and I just want to fucking go there because it looks so goddamn cool. Like, it's just, like, okay, how would you describe your town, dude?
Stereotypical medieval town in the middle of the British countryside.
It looks so cool, dude. Like, when you think of stereotypical Britain, you're just like, this is it. This is what TV portrays. It looks so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, if you leave that town in any direction, you'll just get farms for miles and miles.
So then it'll look like everywhere else in the world. But seriously, it's such a cool-looking little town. So don't just say you're just Robbie. Say, I'm Robbie from the stereotypical little British town, and we're so stereotypical we drink our tea with our pinkies out.
We've got a couple of famous people that were born there, but if I said any of them, I'd give it away.
True. Very true. Very true. One of them, I was like, wow, that's a fucking awesome person. But
yeah, the other one is kind of an asshole.
Everybody has that one asshole.
Yeah, but he was like responsible for, I won't say where, but he was responsible for the, shall we say, the extension of the British Empire.
Ooh.
The subjugation of the people.
Oh, understood. Well, we'll just give him the middle finger and move on. Speaking of fingers, though, why? I need to ask you guys this. Why? Well, don't worry. Everybody's listening. You're like, oh, this isn't nerd stuff. Fuck you. Just hold on. I promise we'll get to it. Why the fuck is the pinky out? Why, when you drink tea? Why the fuck? It's like, we're refined. Our pinky's sitting out staring at the fucking sky. Why?
I actually have no idea. I've never done that in my entire life, other than to mock people. It's kind of a what do you call it? Like an upper class thing, whereas I'm more working class, I guess.
Well, why is that such a prim and proper thing? I don't get it. Casual, you've always been the person to go to when we have questions about shit that makes no sense. Can you make sense of this?
No.
We're all fucked, aren't we? Rad?
The Victorians did a lot of weird shit, okay?
Well, I've seen your country. That's all I'm saying, man. No? Okay. Anyway. Go ahead.
Have you not seen SpongeBob? It has life lessons for all of us. The higher your pinky, the fancier you are. So, when in doubt, remember the pinky.
Remember the pinky! Since I have like these humongous like monkey hands, does that mean my pinky's gonna be super high up, which means I'm much better than everyone else?
So, I'm sure the ladies will be happy.
I'm just picturing that scene in Tarzan where they make him wear a suit.
That's kind of what I look like in real life, isn't it? You stick me in a suit, I just Tarzan, Stacy, please. I kind of go into a business attire. I go in for an interview. They're like, "Oh my God, we got a caveman coming. Job." Does anybody here remember the movie? Oh God, what was it? It had Brandon, what's his nuts as the caveman with Pauly Shore.
Encino Man.
Encino Man, thank you. Yes. That's what I feel like on a daily basis when people make me go out in the real world and do real life things.
Does not surprise me in the latest.
Well, seriously, that's what I feel like, man. Just like, people look like, oh my God, what's wrong with this guy? He looks awkward. Yes! Oh, God. I've already taken us off the rails, haven't I?
A little bit.
Not sure we ever got on the rails.
Yeah.
Off the rails on a crazy train.
Moving on. So we are in the midst of the Steam summer sales.
Hide your wallets.
Right, dude? Right? I'm trying to raise money right now to buy a 3DS XL thing, the big-ass ones with the capture card inside so I can stream from it. But I keep looking at Steam like, close it, Stacy. Don't fucking look at the store. Don't do it, man. Because within me, something screams, just go buy all the games. But the problem
I want to buy one of those. But I can't think of what else I play other than Pokemon.
That's the main reason I'm buying it, actually, is just for Pokemon and Monster Hunter. That's it. That's really it. But every time I look at Steam, I'm like, I want to buy all the games, even though I know I'm never going to fucking play them. Why is it we as people look at Steam sales and go, I'm going to buy all of them, even though I'm never going to play the fucking game?
Well, I mean, it goes into why do we buy anything on sale? It's because it's on sale.
Yeah.
It's, oh, this is 50% off. Normally, it would be so much more expensive. Ooh, I should get it.
Yeah, and then we look at our ever-widening list. Like right now, here, I'll open up my Steam right now. I'm trying as hard as I can not to look at the store, okay? I'm trying. Right now, I have 600 fucking games. 600 games.
600 games? That's ridiculous.
Do you know how many...
Can you imagine what those would look like if they were like physical copies?
Oh my God, I would love my house. Just because look at my walls of games. I used to be like that back in the day, but I mean, you know how many of these fucking games I've actually played? Maybe 50 at most, 50 to 100 of them at most, absolute most. Why is it we do this? Why the hell do we go, fuck it, I'm going to buy all the games and never play them?
Okay, now, I can only speak from my own experience, but it's not just about that it's on sale. It's about you like certain games, right? Like, I like open world games. Mm-hmm. I want to like RTS games. I don't for the most part, but I want to. I like the classic Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate type games, where you got the party running around and you do the adventure, whatever. So when I see a game and it's only $3 and it has that thing that I like, my mind says, I'll play this eventually.
I mean, it's only $3. I mean, come on now.
It's only $3. And I do the very cursory casual research of, I've looked at the reviews. They are mostly positive. I'll pick it up and I'll play it, in a week or two, maybe a month, maybe next year. I'm still playing Wildlands.
Yeah, we're all terrible at that, aren't we? I've been trying to figure out for a while why I do it, because I've done it for ever and ever and ever now, and I always do it, and I can't stop myself from buying the fucking games. Or since I'm a streamer, I'm very, very, very fortunate to have a community which will buy me games saying, please play this. And I have full attention, like, wow, thank you so much. I'll play that game. But then it happens where I just don't because I feel like an asshole after a while, It's just, and then pretty soon it just adds this ever widening stack of fucking games I've never played. It's been sitting in my fucking inventory for how long now? I remember I was looking at a story a while back that Steam released about how many people have games in the inventory they never touched. And I think it was like 75% of the games they have in the inventory, most people have never fucking touched. It was just insane.
Probably accurate.
I mean,
I have like 900 games now, and I've played about 100 of them, maybe.
I mean, a lot of that can be contributed to people. I'm sure some of it, at least, can be contributed to people trolling with like Bad Rats kind of games. In case you don't know what Bad Rats is, how do we properly describe Bad Rats? Possibly one of the worst games ever made.
Ever.
The physics didn't work. Did you? Okay, how many people here in the chat right now have played Bad Rats? I know Robbie hasn't for sure.
I actually haven't. Somebody gifted me the game, and I took it because, hey, you want to gift me it, fine. But it's one of those games that I actually refuse to play because I've seen so many other people play it and get angry at it, and why put myself through that?
Rad, did you ever play it?
Never played it. Never seen it.
I got it, and I didn't know about the mythology behind how bad Rats actually is. So I was like, oh, cool, thanks for the game. Fuck it, let's play it on stream. This one has a very early streamer, and all chat just blows like, what the fuck? You're going to play this game? And why not? And everybody, you can almost see a hushed tone go over chat because they wanted to see how it react. And I started playing it. And you could hear me going, this is what the fuck? But the thing didn't do the thing. But what? But because here's the problem with Bad Rats is because you'll set up a contraption in the game. Because you're supposed to set up contraptions which will trap the rats and shit like that, and it's just dumb. It's a cool little game if you want to. Basically, you're trying to make a certain thing. You're trying to make the thing walk into a trap and get killed so you can move on to the next round. Well, I was sitting there and I set up a contraption. I'm like, oh, this will work just fine. And it didn't work. I was like, well, why the hell didn't this work? So I did it again, and the contraption did something totally different this time. And I found out one of the flaws of the game, it was so badly designed that every single time you could have the contraption built and have it play through 5, 10, 15 times in a row. Every single time, almost every single time, it'll do something totally different because the game is so badly coded, it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
Right? It was funny as hell, but it was frustrating because it just didn't make any fucking sense. It was just so bad. It was, obviously got a name like Bad Rats, you got to expect that. But still, it was just awful. It made no sense. It was infuriating. But I had fun because of it. I really did. I had a blast because it pissed me off so bad. I'll never play it again. But it was bad. And I think, didn't they end up putting out a second Bad Rats and it actually worked well?
I have no idea.
I remember hearing about them making a sequel for Bad Rats and it actually worked well this time. Like, it was like, I remember seeing the reviews and like, Bad Rats, it's a fucking great game. Bad Rats 2. How the hell did they make a good game out of this? It wasn't anything spectacular. It was just a game this time that actually worked properly, and people were ranting and raving about how much better it was. Well, you kind of hit the low fucking mark with Bad Rats. How can you go any lower than Bad Rats 1 with Bad Rats 2? How is it possible to reach any lower into the fucking cesspool of shit with Bad Rats 2? It's just because
should it count as like a sequel if the sequel is literally just a functioning version of the first game?
That's a very good question. And it was, they changed it. It really wasn't the same kind of game. They changed quite a lot of it. It was just called Bad Rats 2, but it was just a functioning game. It's like, wow, this is kind of fun. I refused to buy it because fuck you, Bad Rats. But, as far as it goes for Steam sales, though, any games you guys would suggest anybody to pick up while the summer sales are still going on, or anything you're excited to pick up?
I would have said sarcastically Ghost Recon Wildlands, not because it's a bad game, but sarcastically in the sense that I was trying to get an item that required required you to tag 10 friends. Anyway, the point is, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a fun game. It's on sale for about 30% off.
Nice.
It's not Grand Theft Auto with a military theme, even though that's what people think it is. It's more like Ghost Recon, slightly more arcadey, which is what Ubisoft has done with the Tom Clancy franchise for the last, I don't know, decade now, since they owned it. But it's a fun game. Just don't get the DLCs unless you want to play Grand Theft Auto with military shooter stuff, and the other one, that's Narco Road, and then the other one is just kind of slightly harder mode version of the game, but very much smaller map. It's kind of annoying. Again, base game, great. DLC, sketchy.
Okay. Anything from you guys?
Well, I can't play anything on PC, so...
Well, I mean, there are
good.
some Mac games.
Yeah, but I'm happy with my PS4 currently.
Rad,
It's one of those things where when the Steam sale comes by, I'm like, I'm kind of glad I don't have a good enough computer now.
Because you can't spend all of your money.
Yeah.
Sorry to just cut you off there, though, Rob. Rad, any suggestions from you?
I have no clue what games are on sale.
Oh, you purposely not opened up Steam, I take it?
Well, I've opened up Steam. I don't care.
Oh.
So, speaking of that, here's the thing. In the last few months of the Steam sale, like, well, I don't know if months is the last few times the Steam sale, they used to do like a really special page setup. They used to do all these different things. But in the last like 3 or 4 Steam sales, the actual design of the page has been the exact same.
Yep.
The only difference has been whatever their theme is. Like this time it's stickers. Last time it was some sort of like wintry thing. Previous to that, it was playing mini games with a retro theme. The problem I'm having with it, and it used to be, and it still is to a certain degree, spend money, get more of whatever their themed what thing is. But they also have little things you can do outside of spending money, which you kind of have to keep up on every day in order to, get all the things. This one, though, has actually kind of annoyed the crap out of me because there's too much. And what I mean by that is this year it's stickers, or this sale, it's stickers. There's like 100 stickers to collect. Dude, calm down, Steam.
Do you want us to buy a shit ton of 1 penny games? What the hell's going on here?
It just, and there's ways to collect the stickers. It's just kind of like, why did you go so crazy with it this time? I don't know. Maybe I'm just old.
I will also add for Steam sales why it's a good business model, because there is no cost to buying a game. Yes, you spend money, but they're just numbers on a screen. You don't actually have to get into a car, drive to a store, hand him the money you have in your wallet, which isn't very much, and get a physical disc / cartridge and case that you have to actually put somewhere. This, you just buy it. Nothing around you physically changes. You don't have to reorganize your bookshelves or nothing. You just, oh, look, in my library, here's another entry for another game.
You're absolutely right.
So the barriers of entry are next to nothing.
You're absolutely right, though. Which is good and bad at the same time. Good because it makes Steam a shit ton of money and it's very convenient for us. Bad because we spend way more money than we probably should. Let's face it. And also, I think I've made this quite clear before about my opinions of digital versus hard copies of games. I'll take a hard copy of a game any day, even though in the PS4 it doesn't matter because all it is just quote unquote a code for the game to work and you to download the goddamn game, But I liked back when it was a hard disk. you could buy the fucking game and you had it for the rest of eternity. Like I said, I still have Super Nintendo games to this day and regular Nintendo games and, Atari games that still work fantastically, and I don't need to hook up to a central hub to download it. What happens the day Steam goes down and they decide to call it quits and fold? I'm going to lose 600 games.
That's where you have to make certain choices before you decide to pick a particular digital service. Steam's not going to go away ever. The only way Steam goes away is if gaming goes away, and as far as I can tell, gaming's not going away anytime soon. It's kind of the same thing with Amazon. Amazon, if you want to buy your movies and books and everything else all digitally through Amazon service, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They've weathered a couple of storms, and they have never been stronger in the last few decades than ever.
I will argue that point, that I've worked in radio and TV, and I heard the same exact thing, that people never stop needing radio. People never stop needing TV. This will never go away, and look what's happening.
Well, radio has only changed. It's still around. People still listen to it. It's just there's a change in the demographic. But the problem with hard copies is let's just put it this way. I have loaned a game to somebody and it came back with a broken disc.
Yeah, got it.
So, that it's the same problem, it's just a different problem. And the thing about digital distribution is, as long as you don't forget your login codes and your login, name, you always have access to it. In theory, again, you're right, there is the slim possibility that a large thing could go away one day, but as long as you remember your login stuff, that stuff is always there. Whereas if the disc breaks and it's a game that nobody plays and you can't find it anywhere, where do you get that game?
You got a very good point. Very, very good point.
I will also say, for physical games, you did a lot more research when you're buying a physical game, because you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
If you don't like the game, it's a hassle to take it back.
You got a point,
with
man.
digital games, you can return them in 2 hours on Steam.
Is it 2 hours? I thought it was like 2 weeks.
It's 2 hours, but the other thing is, I just bought for $3. Not a big deal. I'm out $3.
Yep.
Yeah, I've actually had that experience. I bought a game, couldn't stand it, didn't care. It cost me like $3.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care. It's $3. Who cares? Now, if it's a $60 game, then you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was, why I'm probably thinking 2 weeks is Arkham Knight. That was an extremely long return policy because it was such a shitter game.
Well, that was a different case because Arkham Knight was so broken, they actually removed it off Steam for like 6 months until the company fixed it.
And they gave people who played that game, even completed it 100%. 6 months, you can return it, full refund, no questions.
You know what really sucks? I was the schmuck who bought the hard disk from GameStop, pre-ordered it because I wanted to make sure I could play it day of release. So I was sitting there with the hard disk for the game, which my computer doesn't even have a fucking disk drive. All I had was the code to download the motherfucker, But I was sitting there going, well, fuck, I can't return this bastard. And I was sitting there trying as hard as I could to stream it going, fuck, this game is so broken. Shit just didn't work. Oh, God, I think I fell through the world once or twice. It was just bad, man.
Did that game ever get actually, fully fixed? Did they get to a point and said...
Mostly fixed?
So they got to, a point and said, good enough.
That's exactly what they hit was good enough. I mean, the console versions are still far more stable. But because what they did was create a console game that ported to PC instead of, doing the exact opposite.
Okay. Well, so Arkham Knight, we agree, was broken and needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
Now, and valid reasons to be fixed. Now, you get to a game like Far Cry 5, there's people saying it needs to be there's elements of that need to be fixed right now when they haven't even played the game or even seen it.
Sir, are you referring to the no towers and no minimap stuff?
Why, yes, I am. How did you know?
Because this has been something that's been burning in my mind ever since I heard it. And it's totally not because we have a list of topics that we talk about from time to time.
Don't tell them behind the scenes. No, I'm melting.
Just pull the veil away. Come look behind the scenes, folks. No, I know this.
Could you imagine how shocked people would be if they found out we actually had topics to talk about?
What?
How often we go on random tangents?
I don't think they would believe it even now. Even right now, after just saying it, I don't think they believe it.
Stacy talks about random shit. Well, that's Stacy. Everybody else stays on topic. I just wander. Okay. This is something we've talked about off air, Casual, especially because Casual brought up some very good points on it. I
did? That doesn't sound like me at all.
Okay, when they said they're taking away the towers, they're taking away the mini-maps, stuff like that, what the hell else could they possibly be doing to keep... Because I can't imagine they're going to go, hey, by the way, new Far Cry, brand new game, fuck you, the player. We want to fuck you in the ass and give you shitty playthroughs. I can't imagine they're going to do that. I know, Rad, you came up with a really good idea of what they might be doing to replace the towers.
I know what they're doing to replace the towers.
Yeah, okay, you could still have towers, but they're like radio antennas. Remember, this is in the middle of a bumfuck nowhere, Montana.
Yeah.
So
that describes the entire state.
Literally.
Yeah. It's kind of a desolate little place when you go there and kind of drive through like, oh, did I miss something? Nope, we're just going to Montana. Oh, okay, sounds good.
And there goes half the viewers or listeners. But
apparently we have 50% of our listenership is in Montana. How does this work?
From the way you guys describe Montana, I doubt anyone there would be able to function a computer.
No, that's... Jesus Christ. If you've ever been to Montana, it's a great little place if you don't mind missing if you blink. You know,
it's big and it's beautiful, but there's nothing there.
Empty. Yeah.
If you live in Montana, we love you. Please don't secede. Please don't join Canada.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, in the game, you could have radio towers, because, this is set in the modern day. So...
Well, all of the Far Cries are set in the modern day, to be fair, but continue.
Well, except for Primal.
So, you go there, you have a GPS unit with you, like a Far Cry Pip-Boy or something. You go to those radio antennas, you clear out all the enemies, and you download the information for that area on your little GPS unit. That's how you get around it.
I think it'd be fantastic because I can happily say that I managed to live through all the Fallouts that I played without a minimap. That was on my screen at all times. I somehow managed to live through those games without a minimap on the screen at all times. Sure, I had a compass, but oh no,
okay,
that really broke the game. Knowing if I was going north or south,
So for those that aren't fully aware of what we're talking about, it's kind of a joke at this point that Ubisoft games all have towers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a joke because a lot of Ubisoft games are open world, and the Assassin's Creed franchise and the Far Cry franchise for the past few games have had actual towers that you climb up on top of them, and then you reveal portions of the map for the world. Now, first of all, not all Ubisoft games have this. It's really just two. It's Far Cry and it's Assassin's Creed. There's a lot more Ubisoft games out there. They don't have the towers. But it's actually a good mechanic. And the people that are saying, oh, this is, another game with towers. Yes, because wouldn't you climb a tower to survey the land? Now, that's just my little rant. What I will also say about the comments that have been made about no towers and no minimap He said you will start with no mini-map. He didn't say there will be no mini-map for the whole game. He said basically it's going to be like any game where you start with almost nothing and you have to build it all up. They also didn't specifically say there will be no towers. He just said there will be no towers like in previous games. So you won't have to climb the towers to reveal the map anymore, in theory. What I'm saying is we don't actually know anything. It's just a lot of people making all kinds of assumptions about, from one statement that was taken out of context.
Well, I mean, even look at Primal. You didn't actually climb the fucking towers. You just lit it on fire. That's it. It was a huge bonfire lit up. And, oh, my God, there's the tower you climbed, quote-unquote tower. And then that unlocked the whole area. I just don't see why people are losing their minds that you might not be able to climb a fucking tower in this game. Jesus Christ, why? Why are you taking away something so personal? I guarantee there's going to be some type of mechanic, like you pointed out, like Rad said. You're going to go there and download the GPS data, or you're just going to kind of walk by and you're going to have the whole map unlocked to that section. Something's going to be there. It's a fucking Ubisoft. I mean, they have a hard time being original, let's face it. I
thought they said, this might be completely wrong, but I thought they said that you were going to do it by using like an eagle.
An eagle?
That's
Primal.
That's no.
Well, Primal's
what do you call it? Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay.
But they still have. They still have the towers. They showed him climbing a tower and doing the exact same thing in that game too. But again, it's not. It's a joke that they do it all the time, but it's still not a bad mechanic. It's just. I don't know. People are fickle. It's like complaining that all the Batman games have the exact same fighting mechanics. Well, there's a reason for that. They're awesome and fun.
Exactly, man. I mean, because how many times we've sat there and bitched, well, gaming's not doing anything original. Nothing new. But then we still play the same games over and over and over again because they keep putting them out. Well, it's because they're fucking fun. It's because we enjoy it. It's because that's what we want. Even though we're sitting there bitching, give us something new, damn it. Well, give us more of that. I like that.
I know I personally have never been the kind of person that says you have to completely innovate. I mean, yes, we do want something new. But for me, something new really doesn't mean something completely new. It just means something new in the genre. Like, the Far Cry franchise and the Lego games are my perfect example of a franchise that makes small changes. Mm-hmm. And those small changes make the game better. You don't have to completely reinvent the wheel every time you make a game. Just maybe polish it a little.
See, two great examples of how it could be bad and how it could be good. One on the bad side is Fallout 4, where they did such a drastic jump from it that it really kind of changed the game to its core. Because the Wasteland didn't feel very interesting to go explore anymore, because it was just a whole bunch of bland areas that you had to go build yourself, instead of seeing interesting personalities and different settlements having their own kind of vibe, which you had in 3 in New Vegas. A great example of how it could be good would be Binding of Isaac and the small updates that they keep adding to that game. The new objects, the difference in mechanics and stuff like that, where you keep wanting to go back to play that game more and more and more because the mechanics are so much different now. You know what I mean?
I sort of agree with you, but I actually like Fallout 4. But
okay. An example of a game that did something different and they got killed by the hardcore fans. Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, but they did the wrong thing different.
Exactly.
But it was still different. You give them credit for trying.
Oh, of course, I give them credit for trying.
So for those that haven't played Final Fantasy, it's always been a linear story. Every Final Fantasy has been a linear story. Mm-hmm. However, they have always hidden that linear story in a world that seems open. Even when the mapping was a little bit different, it always felt like a big world that you could explore. even though if you actually pay attention, yeah, it's pretty linear. But they didn't do that with Final Fantasy 13. They put the entire game on rails. You couldn't go do anything really extra. And they made the mechanics so simple that basically you could push one button to win mode.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all you can say is, yeah. I don't know, man.
Now,
13.
To be fair to 13, it does go open world at the end of the story. Open-ish.
When you're done.
The problem is with 13, you had to get how many hours in before it got interesting? Like we talked about 2 podcasts ago. You had to get 30 hours in before the story got really good. Final Fantasy 12, which I'm playing through right now, the game doesn't get good. The story in the game doesn't get good until about 8.5 hours in, and you kind of stop. And I was dragging myself. Now I'm like, ooh, the story's kind of fun. The game mechanics are still pretty, but the story's finally starting to get good 8.5 hours in. That's kind of dragging ass, man. You know, where 9 and 10 both got really good within the first hour at most. 7 was amazing within the first half an hour for me. Where 12, man, it's been drag ass kind of game for 8 hours. And I'm like, all right. 13, I know I'm just going to want to slam my face in the door over and over again as soon as I get to it. Yeah, I mean.
Well, I will say the argument for 12 isn't that 12 is the story gets good. It's that the story is very different in 12. Like, the story in almost every Final Fantasy game, no matter which one you're playing, is you are the hero of the universe and you're going to save the universe from whatever big calamity is coming your way, and you'll encounter big bosses along the way, and then you'll save the universe. The story in 12 is honestly a little bit different in that you're not really saving the universe. It's actually very political, and it's very not real world politics, but like it's medieval political with Final Fantasy twist. And I love that game. It's my second favorite Final Fantasy game of all time.
Oh God.
But that story is boring as fuck. It just is. It's boring.
You know what the best way to describe? I found a thing on Twitter. Someone tweeted at me. It's the best way. Final Fantasy in a nutshell. It goes through all 15. Do you guys want to hear them?
Sure.
Final Fantasy 1. 4 heroes broke a time loop. Final Fantasy 2. Star Wars, where the Emperor dies, then comes back as the devil, and then dies again, then comes back as God, and then gets killed by Obi-Wan. Final Fantasy 3. 4 orphans who fight a man who threw a hissy fit over his inheritance.
Wow, that's actually really accurate.
Final Fantasy 4. Star Wars, but the Emperor is a space ghost on the moon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Space ghost, coast to coast.
Coast to coast. That's the first thing I thought of when I read that too. Final Fantasy V. An evil giving tree and his gay lover fight a confused harem protagonist and his princess.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VI. Star Wars, but the Emperor is killed and replaced by the Joker halfway through. Racism is bad.
By the way, you'll notice a theme here. They keep saying Star Wars, but it's actually very true. There's a lot of Star Wars references in Final Fantasy games.
Final Fantasy VII. Eco-terrorists recruit a man with a padded resume. Discover corporate greed has caused giant meteor to be elected. Holds recount.
Yeah, actually. Right. And you should know that one, Stacy.
Yep. As soon as I read that one, oh my God, it's true. Because Final Fantasy 7 is my big one. That's my big favorite one. That's my absolute favorite that I played over and over again. So I heard that, I was like, Jesus Christ. Final Fantasy 8, my least favorite in the entire story, all of them. A group of candidates, find out they all lived at the same orphanage. Amnesia to blame, led by death.
See, I never actually completed Final Fantasy VIII, so okay, sounds about right.
Lead may be dead. I'm sorry. And yeah, the Squall may be dead. That's kind of the whole thing, is that Squall is actually dead in the story. It's just fucking dumb. Just fucking dumb. Final Fantasy IX, Star Wars, but the main characters are either clones or princesses. Right?
I love how many of them start out with Star Wars but.
All right, Final Fantasy X, the last great Final Fantasy. Daddy Issues, the real sports story with special guest Christian guilt complex. Right? Right? Think of it. Fucking Titus, Daddy Issues, the real sports story, Waka, special guest Christian guilt complex, the entire fucking religious story underneath it all.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy XI. Giraffe and friends stop the writers from erasing this game.
Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that, but I think they're referring to the elven necks.
Yep, that's it.
Because so elves are typically thought of as either tiny little Keebler elves or they're thought of as the Lord of the Rings elves.
Yeah, just like gigantic fucking long people.
No, they're not gigantic long people. They're normal people with pointy ears.
So I've always thought of them as rather tall, but yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, which is the other big place where elves became famous, always made them short. And in World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XI, they're tall. But how they made them tall in the art is they gave them really long necks, and it's kind of been a running joke that, they're giraffe people.
All right, you ready for the rest of them? Final Fantasy XII, Star Wars, but half the bad guys aren't actually that bad, except for Judge Bergen. That guy's a dick.
Yeah, that's actually very true. The reason they're not all bad, though, is because they are given all of their backstory.
Yep.
So you get all this why they're bad information, and it's like, oh, I can sympathize. Aw, poor horrible person that is destroying everyone because he was smacked as a kid or whatever.
Right. Final Fantasy 13. Jesus Christ, I got to this cocksucker. Being the chosen one will kill your dating life. You stop and God damn it. It's not wrong at all. Final Fantasy 14. Hero saves the world from bad gameplay and bugs.
Okay, so I don't know exactly what that's a reference to, but for those that don't know, Final Fantasy XIV came out 2011 or 12, I can't remember exactly. And when it first came out, it was awful. It was like Square Enix developers had stuck their head in a box since they made Final Fantasy XI and learned nothing in game design for MMOs over the course of years since Final Fantasy XI. It was so bad. The only thing that was good about it was the graphics. The graphics were awesome, and they still are. It was so bad, they shut the game down, rebuilt it from scratch, and a year later called it Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Now it's a good game.
Yeah, it's actually an amazing game now. I remember that's kind of what this whole thing was. Heroes save the world from bad gameplay. But anyway, Final Fantasy 15. Are we ready for the last one on the list?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Bachelor party goes very wrong. I haven't had the privilege. The privilege of playing 15 yet. But
you will, Stacy. You will.
Stop reminding me, asshole. But everything I've seen of it, every bit of gameplay, every preview, every fucking review of it, that fits the description perfectly. A bachelor party goes very wrong because the whole thing is revolved around a goddamn wedding. It's just fucking weird. It's just it doesn't make the weird fucking little game. And guys, I want to talk about another weird game. By the way, pro transition right here. Are you ready for this? Can we hold on to our butts and get ready for this pro transition?
Well, it was a transition until you actually mentioned it was a transition. And
I want everybody to be happy to be able to take note to this so they can learn. No, not even funny at all to you guys? God damn. Ouch. That was cruel. All right. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Mario with a fucking gun. I've been criticized by you guys by you guys so much for this. It just feels weird. Mario with a gun is just wrong.
I don't really see it as like Mario with a gun, as in like fucking GTA or something shit. It just seems like it's like a cartoony gun, so it kind of fits. It's not like Mario's busting out an M40 and an AK-47 or something.
True, but it just feels wrong because he's always just been the kind of guy just to jump on things and kill them because he's a cocksucker and he wants to squash things.
Yeah, but
okay,
I mean,
but
Mario with a gun.
Mario RPG.
Well, he used the hammer.
Plus what is it? Super Mario Sunshine. It was kind of like a water gun. It's a cartoony gun.
But and here's the other thing. It's not. It is a cartoony gun, but it's not even Mario with a gun. It's Mario XCOM with Rabbids for some reason.
Yeah.
I that's what I don't understand. Like, I get that there's some sort of a Ubisoft, Nintendo working together to make a game and stuff, but who looked at Mario and looked at Rayman, which is where the Rabbids came from, if you don't know, and said, what would be perfect for a platformer game that... I know, XCOM!
I've asked that question so many times in different games I've come out with. Who asked for this and why? And I don't know.
I see your Mario Rabbids bet, and I'll raise you, Kingdom Hearts.
Well, okay, but at least in Kingdom Hearts, it's a typical Square Enix story.
Yes,
it's another hero saves the universe, and now it's an action instead of a turn-based battle.
But the basic premise, Final Fantasy with Goofy, Mickey Mouse,
right? But
Disney characters.
But it's still let me argue that by saying that Goofy has been involved in stories that have been a little odd, and so has Mickey. He has been in like medieval stories and stuff like that. So it's not that much of a stretch. But
Donald's been a Nazi, so
they don't like to talk about that.
Wait, what?
Anyway, yeah, it's an old cartoon. He was making fun of the Nazis, but because that whole thing, seems bad, they don't ever show that cartoon anymore. But anyway, if you were to tell me a Mario game was an RPG, and this is me kind of defending their whole Rabbids XCOM game. If you were to tell me Mario is going to be in an RPG, I would have laughed at you. But Square Enix, God bless their RPG godhood, took Mario RPG, the something of the 7 stars. I don't remember.
Legend of the 7 Stars.
Thank you. And that is one of the most beloved games that, like, people from both sides of the, people that love Square games love it, people that love Mario games love it, people that just like good RPGs, they love that game. So maybe Mario XCOM will be good, but I don't know.
Once again, I go back to Kingdom Hearts. You think of the basic premise, Disney characters in a Square type story. You're like, what are they on? And can I get some of that? But then you look at the results, the sales at least, and you say they found something.
Yeah,
because people buy them. People buy all of them.
Look at how ravenous people are about getting a hold of the third one.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, which will be out sometime between Never and Universal Heat Death.
About the same time as Half-Life 3, most likely.
Exactly. So
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yeah, so for like left field ideas, I'm more willing to say, okay, well, we'll see how it works, instead of saying, that is stupid, why?
Well, I hate doing that. That's going to be stupid and dismiss it. Dismiss it. Stacy, use your whole mouth. Open your mouth. Enunciate. Use your proper English.
Use your whole mouth and don't forget the tongue.
Robbie, when I come to England, we'll talk. But yeah, I refuse to dismiss most games. I try as hard as I can not to. So it's when I hear this, I won't dismiss it. I just can't help but stop and go, that's an interesting idea. But once again, when I think of Mario with a gun, I just think of that's really odd. But of course, like you did point out, Sunshine, I guess, because it was a squirt gun vacuum thing. Wasn't it like both, I think, or some weird shit?
No, it was just a squirt gun. The one that has the vacuum is Luigi.
Oh, that's Luigi. That's right.
Yeah, and that's one I don't understand. Everybody loved Luigi's Mansion. Why did they not continue that franchise?
Did they not make a Luigi's Mansion 2?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Not that I know of. I could check.
They made Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which was a remake-ish for the 3DS.
All right. Yeah.
The reason why I fully believe the reason why they did not continue it is because it was a GameCube tech demo. It was it was a GameCube launch game.
But people loved it.
Well, look at fucking Mario Kart. That's gone through how many different systems now? I mean, then people love it.
Well, it's also Luigi. He's plays second fiddle, and Nintendo tries to reinforce that.
See, that's one I don't. Okay, I'm going on a rant here. I do not understand developers. Okay,
I'm going to go ahead and lay out the carpet right now.
and the reason I say I do not understand developers or publishers is the case in point, Luigi's Mansion. So Nintendo for years has enforced, like Rad said, the idea that Luigi is second fiddle. They've enforced it by having him only have like minimum amount of missions in a Mario game. They've enforced it by not continuing a game franchise that people love when they could easily just make another Luigi's Mansion or expand on it. I don't understand why developers do things. Like I play a game, Ghost Recon Wildlands, made by Ubisoft. In this game, you are a military team. And as a military team, you take guys down and you're supposed to use like stealth and stuff. Mm-hmm. But you can't pick up the bodies and move them. Now, you may think, well, maybe they just couldn't figure that out. Another game made by Ubisoft years earlier, Far Cry 4, you can pick up the bodies and move them, and you're not a military team. You're just some dude with a gun in Tibet. Why did they not do the thing in one game where it should happen, but they did it in another game earlier that who cares? I don't understand game developers. Okay, thank you. That was a casual rant.
That's a very good question. I mean, they do shit that just doesn't make sense. They always have. Once again, I always kind of go back to harken on Fallout 4 because I felt it was just such a strange change, but a lot of people loved it. Of such as clearing out the wasteland and making you rebuild it yourself instead of discovering these amazingly cool settlements that have their own personality to them. Like, think of the Republic of Dave. Does anybody remember that from Fallout 3, the Republic of Dave?
Yeah.
Where it's its own little microcosm, and it's supposedly a republic, but it's really just, it's just cool. You know what I mean? And it's
or Gary.
Oh God, the Gary. See, that's exactly it. You could go find, and these are memorable where we kind of go. You can't help but stop and go, "Wow, this is so cool! Look at the craziness!" And then Fallout 4 came about, and everything is exactly the same, and it depends on you to build it. And it's like, well, I want to find personality. I want to go and I want to have those moments in these games where you go to this settlement and go, "Do you remember this? The personality of this, the story of just this one area? That's so cool." Or
one of my favorites of those was I can't remember the name of the place, but it was that the place with like the really happy family, but it turned out they were all cannibals.
Oh, god damn it, yes. Something Dale. Glendale? No, not Glendale. Shit. Something Dale.
If it's Glendale, please let me know, because I kind of live near there.
Yeah, I'm running away. But I know exactly. It was so cool because you're like, there's something so off about this area. And then you go, oh, fuck, they're eating people. That makes so much more sense.
By the way, to those listening, Stacy you'll hear Stacy say a random place name in about 20 minutes. He's referring to this.
I'm kind of bad with that, aren't I? But yeah, it's, once again, you go through Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas or even Fallout 1 and 2, and you get these areas that had so much personality you can't help but talk about them years down the road, where developers decided to go, hey, you know what, Fallout 4, let them make their own areas, and they don't have that same memorable area. That's why I stop and go, why?
By the way, the place name is Ondale.
Ondale! I knew it was something with Dale. Ondale, thank you.
Good old something Dale. What I will say about Fallout 4 and one of my problems, like mechanically, Fallout 4 is great. Like, I know you don't personally like the settlement building, and I agree that the settlement building as part of the main story is annoying, but you technically don't have to do it. So it's one of those things that I'm glad it's there, but it shouldn't have been a part of the main story, which, again, technically it's not, but if you want the, quote, good ending, it is.
Yeah.
But what I will say is your assessment of having to build all the settlements in order to have anything in that game is part of the problem with developers, where, again, something I don't understand, where they will take the wrong lessons from things. I think we already discussed it in a previous podcast. Basically, they will see something that people don't like, and rather than making it like they don't like an aspect of it, so they'll just remove it completely. And one of the things that they did, I would say wrong in Fallout, was they didn't make as many unique places because they were putting in all of this settlement building, whereas they could have made settlement building just like, here's some blank spaces in the map, but then here's a bunch of other really fun things you can do, and here's some original, but they didn't do that. So, I don't understand developers. They're weird and stupid and don't make sense.
Another great example, well, once going back to Fallout, the karma system. Gone in Fallout 4 because people bitched about it because they just didn't get it right. Where I felt New Vegas was probably the best way they've ever done karma, ever. Because in each individual section, you had karma. Like, so, you go to the Red Rock Canyon and have the Great Khans.
That was actually reputation. They also had karma. The thing is, the way they did karma was a little bit weird because you'd get bad karma from certain actions and good karma from other actions, and people would react to you in good and bad ways, even though they shouldn't have even known what you were doing.
Exactly. That's the problem.
And that's where they tried to fix that by bringing back, point of note, reputation levels from Fallout 2, which was something that they had done to mitigate how people reacted to you in Fallout 1, which was again, I don't understand developers not learning from their previous mistakes.
Well, I would bring it to, do they not learn or they just not give a shit?
I don't know. It feels like it could be a little bit of both.
I mean, if they just don't care, that's one thing. If they don't learn, then they're idiots. And I've heard too many interviews with these guys that think they're idiots. I don't, what's the head guy from Bethesda? What's his name?
God, I don't know.
Oh, God, what the hell's his name? He's always on all the interviews about what Bethesda's doing. He's on E3 stages. He was on 2 years ago on the stage going, we've heard what you said. we've heard your cries, and we'll give it to you for Sky and for Elder Scrolls. Here's Elder Scrolls 5, and you're going, you weren't listening. What the hell is this? Anyway, I've heard too many interviews with him. Think he's an idiot. I think he just doesn't give a shit. I think once again they go into the whole game players don't know what they want. We know what they want, so we're not going to listen.
Well, and again, we've discussed that game players kind of don't know what they want sometimes, but there are ways to kind of get a consensus. Versus like if you were to ask each individual game player what they want in a particular game, you're going to get a million different answers. Mm-hmm. But if you combine all those answers, you're going to get certain consensus. And that's what game developers don't seem to look at. They don't look at this is what you want. It's kind of stupidity brought to the fore, like when they say things in what do you call it? Like to bring up a very rough subject for a lot of people, No Man's Sky. The lead developer of No Man's Sky kept bringing up, here's what we're going to have in our game. Technically what he said was, here's what we want to have in our game. But the Sony people kept just letting him go to every single interview and just say all this stuff. This is why you hire press people.
Yep. Casual, I want to talk to you about something, man.
Uh-oh. I didn't do it. Unless I was supposed to, then I did it.
This is one that I've heard you rant about both in my chat when we sat here just to bullshit off air. This is something I've heard you bitch about for a long time. Is game trailers that make no fucking sense at all because they don't look like games. And they're supposed to sell the game even though you don't see anything about the game itself. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a great example of this, well, until just a day or so ago. But I remember you bitching about how it looked like a great movie.
Well, okay, so that was kind of a problem I had with almost all of what they showed at E3 this year. It was like, look at our trailer. Isn't it amazing? And I thought to myself as I watched them, yeah, that is an amazing trailer. I want to watch that movie. But they didn't show gameplay. Like when I buy a game, I don't buy it to watch a movie. I buy it to play a game, and it needs to have certain elements that I like in a game. And when they showed the trailer for... Now, I will also side note here, a lot of people were going, oh my word, I can't believe they said the F word so many times in that trailer. Who gives a fuck?
It also goes back to me bitching about going, why do people care so much about words? But
yeah,
the word only has power when you give it power, let's face it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so they showed the trailer, and it was pretty awesome as a trailer. And all I could think was, great. So is there a game in there somewhere? I mean, the gameplay, when you see that trailer, could theoretically be anything because they don't show you gameplay. All they show is a monkey riding a jet bike and pissing off a pig guy. Okay, great. Well, what is the game about? Now, it's not the only one that did that this year. It was a lot of them. Like a lot of the games they showed, they just showed a trailer and then no gameplay. And then it came to the developer later to, at like a press conference or after show type thing to say, now here's what our game's actually about. Why don't they show that in the press conference? Why? I don't get developers.
But boys, would you agree with me on this? I think it's a bit of a trend because people have gone so much to, I much rather watch it than play it. And that's been a trend that's been happening for way too long. It's something I've bitched about for a very long time. Robbie, would you agree with me that it's mainly something that it started with Final Fantasy VIII where it went too much into the cutscenes and now it's just a fucking movie you watch then play, and that's why they're doing the trailers like this?
Maybe
I mean, with Elder Scrolls Online, it's kind of, when I actually played that in beta, it felt like just like, okay, here's just something so you can feel the controller doing something, but you're just watching it happen, pretty much. I know it's changed quite a bit. Rad?
Here's the scariest thought. Maybe they showed the trailer because the game has a bunch of QuickTime events in it.
Kind of like, that Detroit Becoming Human? Or Becoming Human Detroit, where the fuck it's called? The Detroit game, I don't know.
Not honestly sure what you're talking about.
It shows the android sitting there negotiating with another android to not kill a fucking senator's kid or something like that. I'm surprised you haven't seen this. This has been like all over all the game news. It looks fun, but it looks like it's going to be nothing but QuickTime. It's going to be nothing but like, choose this option will happen kind of shit. I wish I could remember of it.
And, you know, again, each game appeals to different gamers. And that's why I get sick of them doing the trailers like this. Like, it's fine to have a pretty trailer. Don't get me wrong. We love our pretty trailers. Blizzard, keep making them, because let's face it, they are the kings of trailers. But also show some gameplay. Like, after the trailer's done, do what used to happen in games back in the old days when they used to go from the title screen to what is a demo mode, where you would see the game actually in progress. And whoever was playing that game was always terrible. Never understood that.
You noticed that too, huh?
But like, oh my word! Do you remember the demo mode in the original Super Mario Brothers? It is terrible. Why can't you get past that first jump? You're awful. Anyway,
right?
Give me the controller. So, the case in point is after the show, which I didn't, I had zero interest in Beyond Good and Evil 2 as a game, because I saw the trailer and I went, well, okay, whatever. Looks like a great movie. Hope they make it. Then, because I had no interest, I didn't look up any information. But right after their press conference, they went and did one of those side interview things, right? Where they actually did talk about the game. They showed off the game in that thing. Oh my God, it's everything that No Man's Sky promised. But not just promises, they were actually showing those promises. Like, one of the promises No Man's Sky had was that our universe is going to be a real universe, no skyboxes, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have an actual, like, solar system and all of that stuff. But they never actually showed it because that they wanted to do that, but they couldn't figure out the tech. Beyond Good and Evil is doing that. Like, they actually showed it in progress, showing the actual technology of, here's our solar system, here's going from the planet into space, no transition screens, here is me getting out of my spaceship in real time as a monkey dude, going with my jetpack to the top of a statue that's freaking huge, by the way. Here's an entire planet that is going to be basically a sandbox for you to play the game in. I mean, that's what they should have shown at E3. Not the trailer.
Ladies and gentlemen, example of when casual gets excited.
At old E3s past, they literally used to have as their thing, they would announce a game, then you would have somebody up there play it for half an hour, obviously rehearse and stuff.
Yeah.
And the other guy up there would be talking about what he's doing, what they're trying, how this indicates what the game's going to be like, and things like that.
And you know what? It sold us every fucking time.
Yes, but nowadays it seems to be geared more towards the YouTube crowd, which is, here's a video you consume, let's move on.
Oh, I think the YouTube thought process is changing more than just E3. It's also changing the format that we love and know and we kind of live on, guys, which is Twitch. It changes a lot of things. I feel also it changes how people broadcast, which is a bit weird for me to handle because I watch differently than people broadcast. Now, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's changed to where people come to just watch it. They don't come to interact with it. They don't want to actually be part of it. They just want to sit there, have it on, and watch it or have it on in the background. Now,
yeah.
Has this changed anything as far as, has this forced you to change and made you want to change with it? Or are you happy about the change? Or is some of your favorite streamers changed and you're like, God damn it, go back, or what?
I mean, for me, I've always kind of what is known as lurking. I've always kind of lurked on a channel. Mm-hmm. And so for me, nothing's really changed personally. I just noticed that other people are doing that. And I don't know that I wholly agree that it's YouTube's fault for that, because let's face it, YouTube has been around for a long time, and the stream watcher and the YouTube watcher are kind of two different animals.
Oh, yeah.
But something definitely happened in the last, couple years on Twitch, and now it's definitely it's a lurker environment now.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, in case you guys are wondering what the hell a lurker is, it's just somebody who chooses to watch and not interact. But most basic explanation possible. I'm quite literally what's called a pro lurker. I lurk everywhere I go, but I always prefer a nice chat to go along with it, where it's the streamer actually interacts with the chat and talks with it and has a good conversation. So if I feel I want to join in, I can. And I don't sometimes, but I do. I've been known to join in conversations, have great conversations. But it feels like when I go into other people's channels now, it's someone who I watch quite a bit. It feels like there's been a drastic shift from conversation to just interacting with the game and kind of not necessarily ignoring chat, but just chat is on the wayside, and it's an afterthought where the gameplay and interacting with the gameplay and talking to the game is a hell of a lot more important. You know what I mean? And it feels awkward, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's for someone like me who I'm known for talking nonstop and I want to have a good conversation. I love conversations. It's a weird change for me because I'll sit there and try to start a conversation, keep a conversation going for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and no one joins in. I'm going, Jesus Christ, I'm talking to myself. This is weird,
Okay, I feel I should clarify. I wasn't exactly blaming YouTube, or it's the YouTube effect. What I mean is, it literally just hit me. Twitch for a lot of people is turning into Let's Plays on YouTube. Let's Plays on YouTube that basically do the same thing. They're playing the game real time, talking to the game, stuff like that. But you watch it like you're watching a TV show.
Is that when you say YouTube effect? I think it's the same exact way as people looking at Surge and saying it's a Soulsborne game. Kind of like when you look at certain games and go, that's a Metroidvania game. It's the same type of thing of this is that particular effect. Not down talking or bad talking a particular effect. It's just what it's called. Yeah, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
And it also means you can have the stream off to the side. You're only semi-paying attention. You're not going to type very much. Because you're going to be, very, very behind on what people are talking about currently. So you just leave it there and you just have it on as background noise. Oh, look, they're an interesting part. I'll watch for a little bit. Okay, now back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, like for the main reason I've always been a lurker in most streams is because where I discovered streams was when I used to play Minecraft. I was consuming all Minecraft content, as you tend to do with any game that's new to you. I was just like, oh, Minecraft. I was watching YouTube Let's Plays, and then I discovered a streaming site, and they were playing Minecraft, and I just liked having the game I was playing on in the background. And it just is kind of my nature that I like to have whatever game, even if I'm not playing the game they're playing, I like to have a certain streamer just on in the background because they're enjoyable white noise when I'm playing a game, you know. Now, I'm not sure I would call Stacy white noise because there's no avoiding when he gets going, so, you know.
White noise you can put on speakers.
Yeah, nobody watches me on speakers.
You put Stacy on speakers, you'll get fired / sent to detention.
So, speaking of that, I actually almost got one of my viewers fired. Because he told me he's at work. And I was like, oh, this will be funny. So I thought he meant he had me on headphones.
Oh.
So I was like, hey, viewers, boss, he's watching Twitch in here. Come fire his dumb ass. Oh, he's a cocksucker. Dick, cunt. And then he's like, starts typing, you son of a bitch. My boss just yelled at me, you motherfucker. I almost got fired. I went, oh, shit, I thought you had me in headphones, you stupid son of a bitch.
I gotta say, that's his own dumb fault. I mean, he knows who you are if he's watched your stream.
Oh, he was around for like 6 months at this point, so he knew what kind of stream I am, you know?
I mean, come on, dude. Plus, if you're watching at work, you don't watch with the speakers on. What an idiot. But,
unless you're the boss, you know?
Well, sure, but then who cares?
Exactly.
But even then, you still don't put Stacy on speakers. The stuff that comes out of his mouth makes sailors blush.
I'm guilty of that. But you're absolutely right. I was just like, why do you have me on speak? What's wrong with you? So I've actually started to do a forewarning during my pre-shows now of going, by the way, if you're at work, don't fucking watch me or use headphones. It's just a bad idea, man. But yeah, so Twitch has changed quite a bit, and I think all of the internet has changed when it comes to streaming or content consuming, where it really has gotten the YouTube effect of gone in the background, constantly lurking, and the conversations have hardcore gone to the wayside, and it just feels weird. To me, especially, because I'm just not that type of person. You know, I want a conversation there. Even if I'm not partaking in it, I want to read the conversation, have the conversation there, because being a loner, even if you're a hardcore loner, you still want some type of personal interaction. And
we need to get these goddamn kids off our Twitch lawn.
God damn you. Making me sound really old, which I am, but that's besides the point. It's just, it feels weird because even though I choose to be a loner, I don't really interact with many people in the real world. I want that conversation there because it feels comforting. Even if I'm alone, I know I have somebody there on Twitch having a conversation, and I'm allowed to join it if I want to, but I can also sit back and just listen to the conversation and enjoy it in my own way. Where the conversation not being there, I tend to get a little weirded out and leave. Because I try to find conversations wherever I go. Yeah, I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
But of course, I'm also a rather weird beast from what I've been told.
No, there's no denying that.
The beast will have his day.
So, guys, we haven't talked about movies in quite a while on this podcast. It's been pretty much video games through and through. There's one bit of video game news that it's taken over. It's pissing off some people, but some people are excited. Casual, Rad, Robbie, help me. Why are so many people in an uproar over Ron Howard directing a Star Wars movie?
Well, okay, so
I don't remember who Ron Howard is.
He was Opie on the
Happy
Andy
Days?
Griffith show. He was Richie on the Happy Days. And
that guy.
He has since he started going bald, he became a director, and you definitely know his work even if you don't know it was him. He did Apollo 13. He's like an Academy Award nominee director at this point in his career.
That was Ron Howard, huh? That fucking movie was amazing.
It's not so much people in an uproar about Ron Howard. In fact, they're probably happy Ron Howard.
Well, when I say it's uproar, it's both ways, as in
But here's the problem. So Disney, when they took over all things Lucasfilm, one of the things they took over was Star Wars. And one of the very first things they did was they said, we're putting out a Star Wars movie every year. Till we can't put out Star Wars movies because nobody's going to see them anymore. Keeping that in mind, let's see, 2 years ago they put out Star Wars Episode 7. Last year they put out the Rogue One. This year it's Star Wars Episode 8. Next year it's supposed to be a Han Solo story. Now, this is supposed to be a prequel again to where we saw Han. So they keep saying it's a young Han Solo movie. Now, first of all, for anybody that has seen the original Star Wars, Han Solo was already young. I mean, he was only old if you're talking about anime terms, where somebody that's 25 is considered old.
I thought he was like early to mid 20s in the movie.
Yeah, so saying young Han Solo, I mean, okay, what is he going to be, like a 10-year-old?
I'd say it's going to be like 8-10-year-olds getting raised by a bunch of Wookiees or some shit, or what, you know?
Han Solo makes the trip to his babysitter's place in 12 and a half hours.
So, whatever the case, though, I'm down with it, whatever. They've got some good actors on board, but apparently it has been not going well in terms of directors. They've lost 2 directors already. And when you say lost, it means that other things came up. Maybe there were some disagreements, whatever. It means that the director was there, but now he's gone. Or she.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be
gone.
sexist.
It is gone.
Both the directors for the Han Solo movie were fired on Tuesday. Ron Howard was hired on Wednesday.
Now,
wait, what?
This is newsworthy because not only is there some sort of problem with the Han Solo movie, because obviously there's a problem if you're getting rid of directors, but an Oscar-nominated, possibly winning, I'm not too...
an Oscar winning for A Beautiful Mind.
Oh, okay. Oscar-winning and multiple nominated director, Ron Howard, who doesn't really delve too much into sci-fi. He's kind of a dramatic person. Like, he tends to direct things that are more real and more drama-driven, is now doing a major science fiction franchise project. That's the news. Like, where did this come, like... Has he always wanted to? Like, we kind of want to know what he's going to do with the franchise, because it could be great or it could theoretically be awful, because there have been directors that are great at almost everything they do, and then they do something outside of their normal wheelhouse and it turns awful.
So this could either go one way or the other. So it's either going to be fucking amazing, or we're going to just drop our pants and drop a load on top of this, is what you're saying.
I mean, I can't imagine it being anywhere in between. He's too good of a director for it to be in between. Like, it could be... He's such a good director that if everything goes right, it's going to be amazing. But if it goes wrong, I just can't see it being, like, meh. I feel like it's just going to be like, oh my God, Ron, go back to your dramas.
Well, Ron Howard, his skill is storytelling. To me, similar to like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's not necessarily the drama, just drama is very story driven.
Well, I would say personally to me, when I did still watch Star Wars, they were heavily story. That's why I watched. I didn't necessarily watch for the huge fight scenes and the lightsabers going. Psh, psh, that was cool, but it was all about the story with me.
Yeah,
which is why Phantom Menace didn't work. Well, one of the multitude of reasons,
and why, in my opinion, Rogue One actually did work, because it was all about the story. It was a different story, but it was very heavily like character and story driven.
It was all about many Bothans died to bring us his information.
That was actually Return of the Jedi.
Yes, I know, but they had to get the plans to the Death Star somehow. And literally, that movie was born from that quote.
I know, but it's an incorrect quote, because that wasn't the Death Star. It was the second Death Star, but anyway.
No, it wasn't the Death Star. It was a fully operational battle station.
Fully
I still don't know what a
armed
boffin is.
and operational battle station.
I still don't know what a boffin is.
Nerd fight!
What the hell is a boffin then? Let's educate us. What the hell is a boffin?
A race in Star Wars?
Well, I mean, what are they? Do they have 3 heads?
When I hear
dongs?
boffin, I just think of the tribbles from Star Trek.
When I hear boffin, I can't help but think boffin, which is a British term for nerd. So basically, they said many nerds died to bring us this information.
It's in Star Wars, so it's true.
I was about to say, it seems legit, doesn't it? Jesus. Okay, back to games real quick here, guys. There's a story out that's confused the living shit out of me. Rockstar and GTA 5. They've been shutting down modding websites because of basically it's going against to respect their intellectual policy, their intellectual property, their IPs, the rights over it, and such. They're shutting down Take-Two and other modded websites. Why are they so against modding their game, especially if it's offline?
Well, okay. So first of all, it's not offline. Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 both have online components, and when you mod the single player, you are actually entering into some of the stuff that works for multiplayer. So
there's no hard definition between the two of them.
Well,
I remember hearing that the modders themselves were specifically modding only for.
Yes, but it goes into one of the problems with GTA Online is that there is a heavy, what are incorrectly referred to as hacking community.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're basically they're trying to stop that, but they're also just kind of there are certain companies that are just for some reason against modding. Just inherently against it. Ubisoft is another one. They make it very difficult to mod their games. They make it, if they find out that their games are being modded, they usually actively work against it. Honestly, I don't get the whole anti-modding mentality. I think it's weird to shut down a potential avenue of keeping your game alive.
Well, I mean, the perfect example for it would be Skyrim, to me personally. Skyrim and the Fallout franchises. Those motherfuckers have been kept alive because of the modded franchises. Because of the modded community, excuse me.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Because you can replay those games so many different ways because of the fact that you can mod them. Now, I guess if you have a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 where they don't have a hard definition between online and single player. I've never played this game, so I don't know a goddamn thing about Grand Theft Auto 5. But I guess they don't. But
I mean, there's a distinct difference between online and single player, but in terms of the under the engine type stuff, there are things that can be modified in single player that can also be for instance, infinite health.
Yeah.
It's kept on the what is known as client side. So your health is kept mostly on the client side, so you can mod the game to give yourself infinite health, and therefore you're cheating, and you can go online and still have infinite health. And that's the kind of thing that most of them want to stop, is they don't want you to be able to do that for obvious reasons. It makes it unfun for people.
Well, one thing that's always bugged the shit out of me and always confused me, should I say, would actually be a better word for it, is playing online games and cheating. Why? What joy do you get out of, like, oh, I kill, Dark Souls 3, 1, 2, and 3, all three of them. Oh, I got to make it so I can do infinite health and they can't hurt me. Whereas this is so much fun that I can make sure they can never hurt me. Where's the fun in that? Of just like, I totally pwned them?
I don't know. I love cheating in single player games. It's fun to me to just completely break apart the game and do whatever I want.
Well,
but
yeah, that's
in multiplayer games, but in multiplayer games, I don't like to cheat. I think that when I see somebody botting, for example, in an MMO, or when I see that somebody has clearly used some sort of a hack or whatever to become more powerful, it makes the game unfun for me, for multiplayer. I don't know. People are weird.
You say this as if this is something new to us. Something that Rad is a really big fan of the game, and he actually got me to play it, was Shadow of the Colossus for the PlayStation. Now, in that game, I was confused because it seems so small and it seems rather short for how big the game should have been and how big the area was. That's because apparently, if I'm not mistaken, Rad, they cut a shit ton of the bosses out, correct?
Yes. On the initial plan for Shadow of the Colossus was to have 48 bosses. Now, again, this is initial plan before you actually make and rely on a code or anything like that.
Yeah.
Developers do think big. They just
yes, they do.
They're weird and stupid.
Then, which brings us back to a topic from a while ago. Don't let developers talk about their game and hype it up. Now, as I got closer to actually finishing the game, they had 24 bosses. They had to cut them due to time constraints and memory of the PS2 disc. So, most of those areas are actually still in the game. You just can't access them unless you actually hack into the game.
Yeah.
Now, there is a blog out there, somebody devoted to the Shadow of the Colossus series, so-called, where he's gone into every square inch of this game, through hacking and things like that, and actually gone to these areas. Most of them are actually still solid. Like, you can walk around them and everything. Now, Shadow of the Colossus is coming out on PS4. It's a, HDified and all that stuff. So,
note, they already actually released Shadow of the Colossus HD on PS3, so this would be
which I currently
HD.
Shadow of the Colossus in 4K.
Oh, God. Please, my penis can get only so erect. Okay. The game's getting released. We know that they cut off a whole bunch of the bosses. Because the game is really empty without the extra bosses, because there's no regular battles. There's no regular old enemies. It's just the bosses, and that's all there is to it.
Right. Which is actually, for what story there is, it's actually kind of the point. The world is empty for a reason. I don't know the full story, but it makes for a good game overall. The game is amazing. The story is awesome, and it makes sense why, but it was incredibly empty without all of the extra ones that they cut out. Now, is it just rumor, or is there any solid evidence that they may be adding in add 6 more back in for the release?
Okay, they would add. So the idea is, since they're doing this on PS4, they'll have a lot more memory to play with.
Yeah.
Would they put in the other 8 bosses that were cut? And the reason why we know these 8 bosses were cut, the official art book has them listed, and the alpha. I'm sorry, the demo disc. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
The demo disc of the game, you could hack into it and look at, the fully completed map, and there were 24 boss icons on it, not 16.
No shit, huh?
So these unused colossi were cut for story reasons, or they like, this element's good, the rest of it not so much. We'll use that on this other Colossus that we already have. The 8 that were cut were a gargoyle, a griffin, a monkey, an ostrich, another bird, a boar, a spider, like a daddy longlegs type spider, and another worm.
Really? Now, me being the freak for this game that I am, I would love for all 48 original ideas to be in there. But I can understand why they'd want to cut it down. Here's exactly my stance on it. I want to see what you guys agree. If they re-release it in, HD, as the joke is, and it's just the original bosses and nothing new added, that game go fuck itself. I have no interest in playing it. But if they're releasing it with the new bosses and with all the cunt content, wow, the cut content.
Wow, I want that game.
Right? In Shadow Colossus today, we fight a huge vagina. Motherfucker.
It's the controller of the future.
That's the fetish.
Hey, that's my fetish. But they add all the cut content in. I would play it. But if they don't, why are they even bothering? And if they don't fix egg roll, I swear to God, that bastard ass horse, if they make me push X over and over and over again to make egg roll go, I'm going to break a fucking controller. How have they not gotten rid of mashing the X button over and over again to make this thing move? Was it so hard just to think, just push forward and make the little bastard go? Why was that needed?
Game developers are stupid.
We keep going back to a common theme here. Weird, huh? Nothing?
That's my answer. Game developers are stupid.
Sounds good. All right, guys. I do want to talk about one last... I know I've said this a whole bunch of times. I want to talk about one last thing before we kill the podcast. And this is something you guys have told me about a number of times in the past, and I didn't think I would ever see it. The DC Looney Tunes crossovers with...
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, person behind me, revving up their motorcycle. Thank you so much, sir. You're wonderful. Go fuck yourself. Seeing Elmer Fudd in the DC universe is so fucking weird. And what they did with Bugs Bunny, they made him into a human, and he's a hitman with huge buck teeth and eating carrot. It's just so weird, but god damn it, is it cool. They have Yosemite Sam in there. It's just so cool, man. They have Tweety in there, but he's like a midget bald dude. It's so fucking cool, man. And I never thought I would say seeing Looney Tune characters in a DC comic is cool, but fuck is it cool, man.
Is it like radical, like the fucking the Lunatics cartoon was?
Lunatics?
It was when they were basically, it's like the Looney Tunes in the future. Like their descendants are like hip and they're all black and different colored.
I don't remember this one. I'm sorry.
It was back when they were trying to make them fucking radical.
I think they were superheroes too.
Yeah, it was not good.
I've never seen that one then.
Yeah. Also, if you want to see something weird from Elmer Fudd, there's in the new Looney Tunes they do songs occasionally, and there's one of Elmer Fudd singing about how much he loves grilled cheese sandwiches.
Well, at least we can say they're keeping it for little kids, aren't they?
So of the crossovers that I know of, DC Looney Tunes, Batman, Elmer Fudd, Wonder Woman, Tasmanian Devil.
That's weird.
Jonah Hex, Yosemite Sam.
Really?
Martian Manhunter, Marvin the Martian.
And also...
That would make sense.
I know they brought... Well, that was... go ahead.
Sorry, I can't believe I forgot one. Wile E. Coyote and Lobo.
Really? That would be fun. That would be one damn fun read. I'd be pissed if it ended at only one comic. That would be fun, man. It's just interesting. Here's the thing, is that they tried something new. They wanted just to take a stab and kind of throw it at the wall and see what stuck. It's just so cool, man. I can't stop bringing up how cool this is.
There was a crossover from last year. Actually, two of them. One of them is the other one's actually pretty good from what I hear. Batman and Ninja Turtles.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
How would that...
Batman and Ninja Turtles is good.
Was it good? Really? I can't imagine anything with Ninja Turtles being good.
There were there were two crossovers. They were completely separate from each other, but there were two of them.
Okay.
So one of them I think is just Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe that's the one. That's the quote good one.
Do I dare ask what the bad one is, or do you not remember?
That's also, I don't remember the actual title.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misheard you. Oy vey.
They also had a Power Rangers crossover.
Oh, yeah. God. You know, it's funny because I love Godzilla flicks through and through, and there's just the coolest things on earth. But I watch Power Rangers, I'm just like, this is so fucking cheesy. It hurts, even for a Godzilla fan. And I'm the one who's just like, yeah, Godzilla, break more paper houses. All right, yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, Power Rangers is not really Godzilla-ish. It's American. It's half American, or possibly even more than half American, with the Power Ranger-ish part thrown in.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just what I'm more referring to is the actual fight scenes at the very end of every episode where the Megazord wins every time because it's a Megazord. Whoa, boy, or whatever they call it in that particular rendition.
Yeah, in the first seasons, how often the Megazord winning was the exact same footage over and over again.
It was just something. It was just turning around with this sword in its hand with an explosion behind it, and it's just some undescript thing blowing up in the background over and over and over again. And you just want to stop and go, wouldn't this city have revolted at some point and just had cannons come out, like the military come and bomb the shit of this huge robot by this point? Like this fucking robot keeps showing up in the middle of town and destroying shit. What the hell's going on here?
One of the things that always made me laugh in the original Power Rangers series is a lot of the time when you see like the Megazord, especially on like when it's on like the carrier Zords, when you see the Megazord like rolling along the roads, it's actually the toy. It's like a model toy.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because they have like the fight scenes where there's the guy in the costume. Yeah. But then they have like the scenes where it's like rolling on its wheels. That's the toy bit.
That's an actual toy?
It looks like the actual toy.
Son of a bitch, I thought it was something else.
Yeah, I had the toy when I was a kid. I was like, that looks exactly the same.
Dude, I still have that shit at my mom's house for my kids to play with. I have the full Megazord. I had the dinosaur for the White Ranger. I had the fucking like his little dagger that you could play through. Well, it was a pre-recorded bit, but the only thing I didn't have was a turtle.
Here's a question for you then. For those that actually were a part of that generation, I'm actually too old to have enjoyed that, but the love of, for lack of understanding, the love of, let's say, the Red Ranger over any of they're the exact same. Who gives a crap? Why does every kid love one over the other? I don't understand.
Well, red was the leader. Black was the cool one. Blue was the nerd.
Yeah.
Pink was the chick. Yellow was.
But
also
no. That was the people inside the costumes that you saw at the high school all the time.
Yep.
By the way, they were in high school for a long time. Anyway, but the actual Rangers themselves are literally just color swaps.
Honestly, it was either the one particular weapon or the other I thought was cool, or their dinosaur or whatever thing they drove at the time and fought in was cool to me.
Yeah. I like the Green Ranger because he had like the kick-ass armor, like shoulder thing.
Yep.
And he rode in Godzilla.
Right, dude? That's that. Well, back then, that's when he was the White Ranger. No, I know he was riding the Godzilla when he was.
The White Ranger was like the Tiger Zord.
By the way, they had to be very careful not to call him the White Power Ranger.
Yeah, also in the White Ranger song was White Ranger Tiger Power. If you take out a couple of songs, it just says White Power.
And you'll notice they kind of never really brought the White Ranger back because having to work around the issue of calling him the White Power Ranger, because White Power Ranger.
Dude, you know what's sad? I didn't even think about it until you just pointed out a few seconds ago. It never clicked.
He was always just the White Ranger. They were always very specific. They never called him the White Power Ranger because, no.
How did this escape me for so many years? How the hell did I not notice this? What the hell?
I suppose the same could be said also about the Black Power Ranger, but then again, he wasn't the Black Panther Ranger.
I suppose. Good point, huh?
Ignorance as a child is bliss.
Right, dude.
Wasn't there a thing about that, like with the actual the superhero Black Panther, where they had to rename him because of the Black Panthers?
Actually, I think he was called the Black Panther because of the Black Panther movement. Like when he started, his whole thing was he was a black superhero, and he was against racism and all of that stuff. So I think they intentionally did that.
Once again, another moment on the podcast where I stopped and go, I never realized it. It never clicked. This is how ignorant I am. Well, not necessarily ignorant, just how much of a shit I don't give. I never noticed Black Panther, the Black Panthers. It didn't click until just now.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just don't get.
Wow, Stacy, good job. Son of a bitch. I would have never made the connection ever. But yeah, I suppose thinking back now, yeah, he was always we're powerful. The Black Panther's incredibly powerful, all anti-racism. It makes sense now that I think about it. Shit. But one comic I want to go back to that I never heard about, but I just found out. I just kind of keyed back in on because the crossover was Marvin the Martian and Martian Manhunter. I have no idea who the hell Martian Manhunter is. It was just never somebody I really keyed in on.
You must have been living in a cave.
I just somebody I never really got into, I guess. So I don't remember him. It's the first time I've heard of him was Martian Manhunter. But apparently he's kind of like the DC's version of Superman.
Superman
is DC.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Did I say,
turn in your nerd.
I fucked up. I apologize, but he's just like just a different version of Superman, more or less. Why'd I say DC's version of Superman? God damn it.
Sort of. Basically, I mean, from a backstory perspective, it's very similar. Mars is in a genocidal war. It's about to basically nuclear holocaust itself, and he escapes, and he's the last son of Mars, which
Martian Manhunter is the last green Martian. They were all wiped out by the white Martians.
Yeah, basically Martian Nazis.
Dear God.
Yeah. And the his differences in powers are kind of lame, not lame, but just like.
Have you seen? You haven't seen any of the Adventures films, so I don't know why I'm asking you this, but he's basically the DC version of the Vision.
Yeah, I get. Well, actually, I would say the Vision is the Marvel version of him then, because he's been around a lot longer.
Yeah, I forget which one came first.
But basically, Superman is super strong, super durable, all that other crap. Well, this guy is kind of the same thing. Only he doesn't have laser vision and, super breath.
Yeah, but he can shapeshift and phase.
Yeah, he can shapeshift and he's got psychic powers, so he's still just as overpowered as Superman.
You guys want to see something funny? You ready for this, guys? Hey, Casual, what's his weakness?
Fire. Now, when I say that, you might go, ooh. But here's the thing. Casual rant on the way.
This is why I asked.
Fire is listed as a weakness for a lot. Like, for instance, what's a vampire's weakness? Oh, fire and cutting off its head and stabbing it through the heart. Those are not weaknesses. Those are just things that really hurt and kill people. Why are those listed as weakness? Now, garlic, okay, sure. that's a weakness because nobody's. I mean, other than maybe an allergy, but no, you hurt somebody, sure, but fire.
I know why fire is his weakness as well.
My one weakness, fire.
It has to be fire, so you can say you're fired.
Oh God! But why is fire his one weakness, dude? Let's hear it, Robbie.
The entire reason fire is his weakness is because back centuries ago, the green and white Martians were one species, and they used fire to basically to induce, basically create new offspring. But they were incredibly powerful, and the Guardians of the Universe, from the Green Lantern, thought they were too powerful, so they divided the species into two different species and made fire their weakness.
Really?
Well, so here's my thing about that, though. It's not a weakness. It's a freaking phobia. He has a phobia of fire. Now, if you were to say phobia, then I wouldn't get all ranty about it. But they always say weakness. Now, weakness is like kryptonite. That's a weakness. I mean, it's a strange rock with some radioactive properties that only affect Superman. Fire's not a weakness. Okay, I'm done.
I really like Batman's plan to take out Martian Manhunter as well, which is to introduce a type of magnesium into his bloodstream, so he'll basically combust into fire, and even when he jumps into water, it won't go out.
Jesus Christ!
Really dark.
That's fucking cool, man.
Jeebus, Bats, what are you doing?
I'm the goddamn Batman.
And
we knew you were a psycho, but holy crap.
On that incredibly dark note, I say we wrap it up. I'm Stacy Kruger. Who are you guys?
I'm Robbie.
I'm Batman.
I'm casually challenged.
Where are the drugs going?
God damn it, Bats, you sick fuck. I love you guys.
Podcast this was.
God damn it, Batman, you sick fucker. Magnesium. It's almost as bad as you have too much iron in your blood. You're just dumb. I love you guys. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for being here. All of us, all four of us, love each and every one of you guys so much, and thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next time. Take care of yourself. We'll catch you again real soon.
Love you, fam.
Darn!